So in today's video, I'm going to be previewing Crewe Alexandra versus Bradford City. Then in the second part of today's video, I'm going to bring in you guys my Game Week 45 League 2 score predictions. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 70 likes on today's match preview, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell, and it's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get your score predictions for this game down in the comment section down below and let me know what would your start 11 be for this match. Now, despite Crewe's league position not being great at this moment in time, their actual home form recently has been very good. I think they've won 5 out of the last 6 home games. The last home loss actually came way back in February the 7th, and I want to say it was against Leyton Orient, so they're a very good team at home. The reverse fixture did finish in a 0-0 draw right at the start of the season. I think it was still in that second month sort of period, right at the end of August. 0-0, really frustrating. They came and played for the point, but they got that. They were time wasting, running the clock down. We need 3 points in this one to keep our automatic promotion hopes alive, keep it going until the final day and all that sort of stuff. But make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you are new as well, and let's get into it. So if we start out then with the current Sky Bet League 2 table, my team Bradford City, we currently sit 7th in the table. After 44 matches, we've got 20 wins, 15 draws, 9 defeats, 58 goals scored, 39 goals conceded, which leaves us on a positive 19 goal difference and 75 points. Our last couple of games then being a win, a draw, a loss, a win and a win. Them last couple of games then being a 2-1 win away at Northampton Town, a 2-2 draw at home to Gillingham FC. How costly could that 97th minute equaliser from Gillingham be come at the end of the season? We also had a 1-0 defeat away at Swindon Town, a 3-0 win away at Rochdale and a 3-1 win at home to Sutton United. If we compare that then to Crewe Alexandra, they're currently sat 16th in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 44 matches, they've got 13 wins, 15 draws, 16 defeats, 43 goals scored, 56 goals conceded, which leaves them on a minus 13 goal difference and 54 points. The last couple of matches then being a win, a loss, a win and a loss. Them last couple of games then being a 2-1 win at home to Swindon Town, a 2-0 defeat away at Grimsby Town, a 2-0 defeat away at Leyton Orient, a 2-0 win at home to Walsall and a 4-0 defeat away at Colchester United. So they do really struggle away from home, but at home they seem to have really made that a fortress recently. Like I said, the last loss at home coming against Leyton Orient on the 7th of February. Before that they weren't great at home, but recently they have been very good, so it's certainly not going to be an easy game whatsoever. Now let's get into the team though that I would go with if I was Mike Hughes. So I would then line up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. I think this is the perfect formation to be playing in a game like this away from home. It gets, your better attacking players in the team in their natural positions and all that sort of stuff. So I would stick with the 4-2-3-1. In goal for me, I would go with Harry Lewis. The man was absolutely outstanding against Northampton. Not just his shot stopping, his distribution was very good as well. I've been a little bit of a critic of Harry Lewis, as a lot of the fan base, with a couple odd mistakes creeping in every now and again, but he has still been making some absolutely outstanding saves. Harry Lewis was that good against Northampton Town. Northampton's official Twitter account posted a compilation of the saves that he made. He made 4 absolutely outstanding saves. He was absolutely brilliant. How that man was not even on the man of the match vote for Bradford City was absolutely ludicrous. He did end up winning the man of the match alongside Critchlow, I think, but Harry Lewis was absolutely outstanding. For me, he's one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the league. Into the back 4 then, at right back, I would go with Brad Halliday. Arguably his best performance of the season on Saturday against Northampton. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Going forward, he was pretty decent, but defensively, Louis Perry got subbed off before an hour because Halliday had him on toast every single time. Perry really struggled. Then put Hoskins on the left wing after about the hour mark, and he did absolutely nothing either. Halliday was outstanding against Northampton. He's been brilliant so far this season, so he has to keep his place at right back. Into the 2 centre-backs then, at first I would go with Sam Stubbs. Another very solid defensive performance from Sam Stubbs. He's been brilliant since coming in from Exeter in the January transfer window. Clearly a leader at the back, and I think he's been absolutely brilliant since he has joined in January. Partnering him, I would go with Romany Critchlow. I thought we saw Critchlow back to his best against Northampton. He had a couple of iffy games over the last 2 matches before that one against Northampton, but against Northampton he was back to his best. Scored his first goal for the club as well in the 94th minute. Absolute carnage when that went in. If you've not already checked out my vlog from the Northampton game, then make sure to go do so. It is out now on the channel. Thank you all very much for the support on that. But Critchlow was brilliant, not only obviously with his goal, that does obviously boost him up slightly, but defensively I thought he was pretty solid as well. So for me personally, he should keep his place in the back 4. A left back, I would go with Liam Rideout. I think he's getting better and better as the games go by. Arguably his best performance of the season as well on Saturday. I thought he was really good offensively, sticking some great balls into the box defensively. It looked pretty solid as well. You know, I've been a big critic of Liam Rideout this season. You know, he's had his struggles with his injuries and all that sort of stuff, but I think when he's played over the last couple of matches, I think he has looked really, really good. So for me personally, I think I would keep the back four exactly the same. Into the two midfielders then, firstly I would go with Richie Smallwood. I thought it was a pretty solid performance again from Smallwood against Northampton. He's been brilliant over the last couple of weeks and months, puts in a brilliant ball as well for our second goal. His set pieces have certainly improved quite a lot, to be honest with you. I think he's been really, really good. So for me personally, I think he needs to keep his place in the side, and we'll partner him with Alex Gilead. Again, a pretty solid, decent performance from him, really from the both of them against Northampton. They weren't as influential as what they have been over the last few matches, but I think we were overloaded really in the midfield. I think they had an extra man in there, so they were having to do double the work. Gilead did end up coming off late on in the game for Adam Clayton as well. Ryan East not even making the matchday squad now. We've really got some good central midfield options, and for me personally, I think we should stick with Smallwood and Gilead. Into the front three then, behind the striker. On the right wing, I would go with Scott Banks. I thought he was very influential in that first half. Second half didn't really do all too much, to be fair, but didn't really need to because we were comfortable in the game for the large part of it. You know, even when Northampton equalised, I still felt we were fairly comfortable in it because of how strong we are defensively. They were having chance after chance, but never really felt like they were 100% going to score from one of them chances. So I would stick with Scott Banks on that right-hand side. Obviously gets another assist as well with that first goal. So like I say, he's got to keep his place in the side. In that number 10 position then, I have gone with Matt Derbyshire. For me personally, I thought Walker had a pretty poor, anonymous game again against Northampton. I don't really know what's happened with Walker this season, but he looks a shadow of the player that he was last campaign. Derbyshire, when he's played recently, has had a decent impact off the bench. We always seem to score really when Derbyshire comes on off the bench. So for me personally, I'd like to see him get another go. It would be more when we're attacking, it's more of two strikers, but when we're defending, it would be more Derbyshire dropping in a bit deeper because obviously Andy Cook provides a bit more of a physical presence. But after an hour, 70 minutes, if it's not working, then maybe you do bring Walker on and see if he can be that impact sub. On the left wing, I've gone with Emmanuel Osadibe. How Thierry Nevers and Dara Costello are playing for this football club, I'll never know. Both of them are absolutely terrible. I'm not going to fault their work rate because they're both give it 110%, but quality on the ball, it's Sunday League standard. They're so poor. They're under no pressure and they're dribbling the ball out of the play, or the first touch is bobbling up and it's going out of play. They were so poor. Osadibe, how he didn't even get on off the bench against Northampton, I'll never know, because that is clearly our weak link in the left wing position. You know, I've been a big critic of Harry Chapman so far this season, but the things I do to have that man back right now, yeah, I just... Hopefully we see a bit of change on that left-hand side, because whether it's Nevers or Costello, they're both simply not good enough. I don't really know what Dion Pereira has to do to even get involved in the matchday squad. I don't think Pereira's been great this season, but from what we know of Dion Pereira, he can't really be any worse than Nevers and Dara Costello, in my opinion. But for me personally, I like to see Osadibe get his second start of the season. Up front, I would go with Andy Cook. Apart from his goal and assist against Northampton, I thought overall he had a pretty quiet, poor game. But if he wants to do that for the rest of his time at Bradford City, I'm never going to complain. Goal, 30th of the season, 50 now for Bradford City. They're proving why he should have been at the League 2 Player of the Year as well. Sam Hoskins did absolutely nothing in that game. Andy Cook coming up with two big moments, goal and an assist as well. Absolutely outstanding. And for me personally, obviously, he has to lead the line because we don't really have many striking options, with Eden Oliver confirmed that he will now be out for the remainder of the season. On the bench then for me, that'll leave Colin Doyle, Matty Platt, Talaji Bowler, Adam Clayton, Dion Pereira, Jamie Walker and Aboisa, who is now back available for selection, which means the players who would miss out then would be Heath Richardson, Luke Hendry, Oscar Thurell-Kelder, Timmy Odesina, Kieran Kelly, Ryan East, which is really harsh because I am a big fan of Ryan East, but I just don't really see where he fits in on that bench, in my opinion. Also missing out then is Harry Chapman, Thierry Nevers, Dara Costello and Eden Oliver. Now let's get into my game week 45 League 2 score predictions. Now there is only one match for us to predict this week, with it being Bradford City's game in hand. This is not a scheduled week fixture. It is also pretty strange that we are playing on the Wednesday, but obviously because the game against Leyton Orient isn't until the Monday, it does kind of make sense why this one is on the Wednesday, to give a decent amount of balance between both games and all that sort of stuff. But in terms of a score prediction for Crewe Alexandra versus Bradford City, whenever I've been negative, we always seem to win. So I'm going to go Crewe Alexandra 1, Bradford City 0. For some reason, in these games, we 9 times out of 10 don't really show up, you know, but it's good to see that Crewe are in form, because if they were a team that hadn't won in 10 games, especially at home, then I'd be really nervous going into it. But we seem to do pretty well against the teams who are in form and performing well, so fingers crossed that's a good omen. I'm going with a bit of reverse psychology, like what I did in the Northampton game, and fingers crossed we can get a similar result to that one. But that is where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 70 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Drop a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know your score predictions and what your starting 11 would be for this game. Let me know that sort of stuff down below. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Check out my second channel as well if you haven't already. The link to that is down in the description down below. We are trying to get 1,000 subscribers over there, so please make sure to go over and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you all very soon for another one. Peace.